Hello, New York Yankees fans. We have brand new exclusive videos and the latest news for you. Before we get started, we'd like to invite you to join our channel and give this video a like. It's crucial to get exclusive access to the latest updates. The whispers started the way they always do in this league. Soft at first, almost like background noise you ignore while scrolling late at night, until suddenly everyone is talking at the same time. The rumor moving through the baseball world right now is that the Yankees have landed Jacob deGROM, and the tone around it feels different, heavier, like something seismic is about to settle in the Bronx. This is not being framed as a simple signing or a roster tweak, but as the arrival of a presence, a wall, a so-called morale that is supposed to change the emotional temperature of the entire organization. People close to the situation are saying this move is about sending a message as much as it is about innings and strikeouts. The story being told is that deGROM did not come quietly, and that his decision was fueled by a desire to dominate, to remind the league who sets the standard when he is healthy and locked in. Around the Yankees ecosystem, fans and insiders are framing this as a turning point, a moment where swagger meets expectation. It is being whispered that the front office sees this as a defining chapter, not just a headline, and that deGROM sees New York as a stage worthy of his ambition, pressure included. In the corridors of the stadium, and in the conversations of former players who still carry weight, the narrative forming is that this signing is about intimidation. The idea being passed around is that when Jacob deGROM walks into a clubhouse, the atmosphere shifts before he ever throws a pitch. Teammates feel protected, opponents feel hunted, and the game plan starts to revolve around survival rather than comfort. This is the image the rumor paints, that the Yankees wanted more than talent. They wanted an edge that could be felt in warm-ups and bullpen sessions. People are saying deGROM has been vocal in private conversations, telling those around him that he wants the ball in the biggest moments and that he intends to dominate the league, not just participate in it. The word dominate keeps coming up, repeated like a mantra by those leaking these stories. It is not being sold as arrogance, but as confidence sharpened by years of proving doubters wrong. In this speculative retelling, the Yankees did not just acquire an arm. They welcomed a mindset that refuses to accept anything less than control over the game. Another layer of this rumor focuses on how meticulously this supposed agreement came together. The chatter suggests that the Yankees were patient, strategic, and willing to listen more than they spoke, allowing deGROM to outline what he wanted from this next chapter. It is being said that there were long conversations about preparation, recovery, and trust, with assurances that he would not be rushed or mishandled. Insiders hint that deGROM wanted to feel valued as a leader, not just a weapon, and that the Yankees were eager to present him as a cornerstone rather than a temporary fix. There is speculation that the contract details reflect mutual respect rather than desperation, although exact terms are being kept deliberately vague to fuel discussion. What stands out in these whispers is the idea that deGROM chose environment over comfort, pressure over quiet, believing that the spotlight in New York would sharpen him rather than burn him. This part of the rumor frames the signing as a philosophical alignment, two entities believing they can elevate each other. The promise to dominate the league has become the most repeated line attached to this story, and it is being portrayed as both a challenge and a vow. According to those close to the narrative, deGROM has been telling people that he feels something to prove, not because of doubt, but because of unfinished business. The speculation paints him as restless, driven by the idea that his best chapters are still unwritten. In the Yankees camp, this promise is supposedly being embraced, not managed or toned down. Coaches and executives are rumored to believe that channeling this intensity is exactly what the team has been missing. There is talk that younger pitchers are already buzzing about the opportunity to learn from him, to watch how he prepares, how he thinks, how he attacks hitters. The rumors suggest that deGROM is eager to be that reference point, to set a standard that others must rise to or be left behind. This is not framed as a solo act, but as a ripple effect that could redefine the rotation's identity. The fan reaction, as imagined through this speculative lens, is a mix of disbelief and electric anticipation. The idea of deGROM in pinstripes has ignited debates dreams, and cautious optimism all at once. Some voices are warning about expectations, about health, about the weight of history, but those concerns are being drowned out by the sheer audacity of the move. In this rumor-driven reality, fans are not just excited about strikeouts or wins, they're excited about relevance, about fear returning to the opposition's dugout. The Yankees brand, already massive, feels reinvigorated by the possibility of a true ace taking ownership of the moment. The chatter online and on air suggests that jerseys are imagined flying off shelves, that highlight reels are being mentally assembled before a single pitch is thrown. This part of the story thrives on emotion, on the belief that something special is brewing, something that feels inevitable rather than hopeful. As the first part of this rumor continues to circulate, it is clear that the narrative is being shaped intentionally dramatic, almost cinematic. The Yankees are being portrayed as architects of a bold statement, while Jacob deGROM is cast as the protagonist ready to embrace the weight of expectation. The language used by those spreading the story leans heavily into destiny and dominance, framing this union as a collision of ambition and opportunity. There is a sense that this is not just about the upcoming season, but about legacy, about how careers and franchises are remembered. The speculation ends not with answers, but with a charged silence, the kind that precedes something loud and undeniable. In this imagined moment, all eyes are turning toward New York, waiting to see if the promise to dominate will echo as prophecy or challenge. The second wave of this rumor dives deeper into the consequences, imagining how the rest of the league is reacting behind closed doors. The talk suggests that front offices are recalculating, that opposing managers are already losing sleep over lineup decisions that feel impossible. Jacob deGROM in a Yankees uniform, according to the speculative buzz, changes the math of every series, forcing teams to confront their weaknesses more honestly. There is an idea circulating that this move alone alters the psychological balance of power, reminding everyone that the Yankees are never content with being merely competitive. Analysts, in this fictional retelling, are describing the signing as a signal flare, a declaration that the path to the top runs through the Bronx. deGROM is being cast as the anchor of that message, a pitcher whose presence alone commands adjustments. This part of the rumor emphasizes fear and respect, suggesting that even the most confident hitters feel smaller when his name appears on a lineup card. Within the Yankees' rotation, the speculation paints a picture of immediate hierarchy and clarity. The rumor claims that deGROM's arrival simplifies roles, elevates expectations, and creates a trickle-down effect to confidence. Pitchers are imagined to be throwing freer, knowing that the tone is set by someone who thrives under pressure. Coaches are rumored to be excited about structuring game plans around a true ace, someone who can stop momentum and reset narratives. This imagined environment is described as intense but focused, with deGROM leading by example rather than volume. The stories say he is not the loudest voice in the room, but the most deliberate, choosing moments carefully and speaking with authority earned through action. The Yankees, in this speculative vision, are banking on that leadership to stabilize the entire staff, turning potential into performance. Another angle being whispered revolves around health and longevity, always the shadow following a pitcher of deGROM's caliber. The rumor insists that this concern was addressed head-on, with both sides acknowledging risks without letting them define the relationship. Insiders are saying that the Yankees believe modern preparation and communication can unlock sustained excellence. deGROM, according to the narrative, feels respected and heard, confident that his body will be managed intelligently. This part of the speculation aims to calm nerves, suggesting that the organization has learned from past experiences and is determined to protect its investment. The story frames this as a partnership built on transparency, where trust is as valuable as velocity. Whether this optimism is warranted remains part of the mystery that fuels the conversation. Beyond the field, the rumor expands into the cultural and business impact of such a signing. The Yankees are imagined to be reclaiming a certain mystique, using star power not just to win games, but to dominate headlines and conversations. deGROM's supposed promise to dominate the league is being marketed as a rallying cry, something fans can cling to during tense moments. Sponsors, broadcasters, and commentators are all woven into this speculative tapestry, each benefiting from the gravity of the move. The idea is that deGROM amplifies everything around him, turning routine nights into events and ordinary matchups in a must-watch theater. This layer of the rumor highlights how baseball, at its core, is still driven by stories and personalities as much as statistics. As the speculation continues, there is also a quiet undercurrent of challenge being acknowledged. The rumor does not ignore the weight of expectation that comes with the Yankees uniform. Instead, it portrays deGROM as someone who welcomes it, who believes that pressure clarifies purpose. People close to the narrative say he sees this as a test of greatness, an opportunity to measure himself against history and emerge louder. The Yankees, in this imagined storyline, are confident that this mentality aligns perfectly with their identity. There is a sense that both sides understand the risks and rewards, and that neither is shying away from the stakes involved. In the closing moments of this rumor-fueled saga, the tone shifts from analysis to anticipation. The baseball world, as portrayed here, is holding its breath, waiting for the first glimpse of Jacob deGROM in pinstripes, waiting to see if words will transform into dominance. The story does not offer certainty, only momentum, the kind that builds with every retelling. Whether this move becomes legendary or cautionary is left deliberately open, feeding the endless cycle of debate and belief. What remains undeniable in this speculative account is the audacity of the promise and the scale of the ambition. The Yankees and Jacob deGROM, bound by rumor and expectation, stand at the center of a narrative that feels too big to ignore. But before we continue, please remember to join our channel and give this video a like. Your support allows us to keep bringing you the latest news about the New York Yankees. Feel free to share your thoughts on the news in the comments. As the rumor stretches further, there's growing speculation about how this move reshapes Jacob deGROM's personal narrative within the sport. The whispers suggest that this chapter is less about reinvention and more about amplification, taking everything he has represented and placing it under the brightest possible lights. In this imagined storyline, deGROM is fully aware that every outing will be dissected, every pause analyzed, every expression read for meaning. Rather than shrinking from that microscope, the rumor insists he feeds off it, believing that true dominance requires exposure to pressure. People close to the narrative claim he views the Yankees stage as the ultimate measuring stick, a place where greatness is not debated quietly, but argued loudly. This speculation frames him as a pitcher who wants his legacy to be undeniable, forged in an environment where excuses evaporate. The promise to dominate the league is therefore painted not as marketing language, but as a personal standard he is daring himself to uphold. In this version of events, deGROM understands that silence in New York is never neutral, is always interpreted, and he welcomes that tension as fuel rather than burden. The rumor also drifts toward how this signing could subtly alter the emotional relationship between fans and the team. The Yankees faithful are imagined not just as spectators, but as participants in this unfolding drama, carrying expectations that feel heavier yet strangely comforting. The presence of deGROM, according to the speculative buzz, gives fans a focal point for belief, a figure onto whom hopes and frustrations can be projected. The narrative suggests that even during difficult stretches, there is reassurance in knowing that a pitcher of his stature exists within the system. This imagined bond between player and crowd is described as intense, sometimes unforgiving, but ultimately powerful. deGROM is rumored to understand this dynamic deeply, recognizing that the same fans who demand perfection also provide unmatched energy. The story implies that he wants that relationship, the roar and the criticism, the praise and the doubt, because it validates the scale of the challenge. In this sense, the rumor frames the signing as emotional architecture, constructing a shared storyline that extends far beyond the mound. Finally, the speculation settles into a broader reflection on what dominance truly means in this context. The rumor makes it clear that this is not solely about overpowering hitters or accumulating personal accolades. Instead, dominance is portrayed as control over moments, narratives, and belief. Jacob deGROM's alleged arrival in New York is imagined as an attempt to command the rhythm of the season, to dictate when momentum shifts and when doubt creeps into opposing dugouts. The Yankees, within this speculative framework, are betting that such control is contagious, that confidence radiates outward from the A's to the entire roster. This final layer of the rumor leaves listeners with a lingering sense of inevitability, not because outcomes are guaranteed, but because ambition on this scale demands attention. The promise to dominate the league hangs in the air, unresolved, daring reality to respond. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to keep receiving exclusive news about the New York Yankees, please subscribe to our channel and give us a like. We always appreciate your comments and opinions. See you in the next video.